Hi, I'm going to do a vlog right now. Paul and Poppy are making breakfast, but it should take them a little while. So, um, obviously, I look like I just woke up. That's because I just woke up a little while ago. Okay, I guess I'll get right to business. I'm doing this vlog now because in a couple of hours, Paul will go to work, and then who knows how late Poppy will stay up. Last night she stayed up till 11. It was exhausting. And I would never be able. I couldn't do a vlog after 11. Um. Anyway, so I'm trying to begin at the beginning. But what is the beginning? Is the beginning when we first walked through their doors and signed her up? No. Okay. So yesterday was her first, her introductory private lesson, and um, when we got there, there was a class taking place, which was kind of noisy. Lots of hi, and also that's like a dance studio type, like a wooden floor with a mirror. Um, and then there's like this short wall. So like there's the studio area, and then here's this wall, and on this side of the wall, and this wall is not high, um, are chairs. And so it was a kids class happening when we got there, and so there's a bunch of parents watching, and it was there's like a lot of noise and activity going on, and it's the lobby area where the chairs are and the front desk. It's like really squished. So and they sent an email saying please come 5 to 10 minutes early. So um, anyway, we did, and when we got there, like I checked in at the front desk, and they were like, okay, fill out this form. So Paul took the form. They handed it to Paul, and he sat down on one of the chairs, filling it out. And I didn't really, there wasn't any more chairs, so I didn't really know where to stand. I was getting kind of like shuffled around, and it was noisy, like different noises coming from different directions. So I kind of felt like unsettled and like, and then the sensei came out, and that's means teacher, I think. And he was like, all right, Poppy, come on, I'm gonna give you a tour, you and your mom and dad a tour. So he showed us around, and took us to a back room to have the private lesson. Anyway, he was this big guy, like a gingery Irishy looking redheaded guy. I mean, he was from Long Island. He wasn't Irish, but he had a shaved head, but I could tell his hair was red. He had a red and gray goatee, and he was big, and he was dressed in like, I don't know what the uniform is called, the robe and slippers, and he had a black belt. Um, and he before we got started in the back room, before he started showing her karate moves, he was like, the most important thing about karate is respect and listening to the teacher, and respect for other people, and your eyes should always be on me, or any teacher that's teaching the class. And it felt, oh, and before we got into that room, there was a table with like these postcards with animals on them, like a tiger or a wild monkey or whatever, like four or five different postcards that had an animal on it, and then some writing, which I didn't really see. But he explained to us that Poppy could take home the these cards, and if she does everything on the cards, then we parents have to check mark, and then she brings the card back in with our check marks and signature, and then she can get a prize. And it's like shit, like clean my room, respect my parents. Um, I didn't look at all of them, but it was rules and obedience stuff, which we don't do. We don't reward behavior. We're anti rewards and punishment. So, um, and somehow Poppy's turning out to be an amazing human being. So it seems to be working well. And um, so I was put off by that. And then we get back into the room, and he's like, It's all about respect and listening and paying attention. It felt really schooly and like kind of intense. And then he starts showing her like all these stances, and he's like, first position, Jing Chao. I mean, that's not what it was, you know, um, like stand like this with a fist in your hand, and then legs spread apart, and then like these karate moves. And so she had to mirror like she was standing in front of him, and it would take her like 5 times to get what he was saying, or for her to do it correctly. And he was patient, and he would always say good job when she got it right, or that wasn't too bad when she didn't get it right. But I felt an edge of impatience. Like his patience felt insincere. He seemed a little edgy, but he was nice. But just really okay. So I had this epiphany. I I realized, oh God, like, and all the moves were like hitting and stuff, and I don't know what, I feel like an idiot, but I had this epiphany, and the epiphany was I don't know anything about karate, and it's not about the the mind training isn't about like the kind of peace and focus that you get like in yoga. The mind training comes from like the breathing and the moves and making your body into this like fluid movement that like resets your brain and calms your body, and it's like breathing techniques and movement. And so yoga is a discipline, and it's a mental discipline, a physical discipline, but it's like totally peaceful, and this is totally violent, and it's self-defense, and but also the mental discipline, it comes from obedience, mind control. I mean, and Paul said this after it was over, and it was exactly what I was thinking, because we just came from Arlington National Cemetery. We just had a military funeral, and the military presence there was so robotic and like machine-like in their movements, like unbelievable. And Paul was like, "This isn't any different from the military," and it's not. It's militaristic and violent. And I think there are other martial arts that don't use weapons and are about um, attack and defense. Or using your, I don't know, Aikido I've heard is more peaceful, but there's not like a wide variety of kids classes around that are, into these other martial arts. It's pretty much karate. There might be judo. I don't really know what judo is about. Um, at this place, the only kids class I have is karate. It's right down the street. And I read really good reviews of it from my Rocky Point parents community page, Rocky Point community page on Facebook. But I don't know, there's a lot of knuckleheads in Rocky Point, so you have to take a good review from them with a grain of salt. So, but while this demonstration or private lesson was going on, I was like, oh God, I want to run from here. I want to take Poppy and not come back. But I thought, maybe she likes it. If she likes it, that's all that matters. Um, so I want to go with how she feels. And she did. She did everything he said. Like she participated fully, and there were even points where she would giggle and seem to be having fun. So when it was over, he hustled us into his office, and he like I was gonna go up to her and be like, "Do you really want to do this?" But he like takes control of the situation. It felt like more mind control. And he said, "So Poppy, do you think you'd want to come back here and do more karate?" And she said, "Yes." But I'm thinking sometimes she just says yes when people ask her something, But she is of a strong will. But I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell. But meanwhile, the thing is it's not a big commitment. They have this special that they're doing where you can get 4 weeks for $44, and then after that 4 weeks, you either say I don't want any more, and if you don't say that, then they automatically sign you up for 6 months. So you have to kind of be on it as far as time goes. If you don't want to do it, you have to tell them specifically. And he's like, you have to tell us why. why? Why do I have to tell you why? Whatever. She thinks you're a dick. I think you're a dick. But meanwhile, but the thing is at the office, he was telling us about scheduling and payment, and he was kind of going on and on. And then Paul all of a sudden is like, "Do you have adult classes here?" And Sensei is like, "Yes, we do. Why? Are you interested?" And Paul's like, "Yeah." So then this is this cool thing. He says that there's this Father's Day thing they're doing the day before Father's Day on the Saturday before Father's Day. Um, like parent, father, child, karate. Like I don't know what it exactly is. It's it's something that like Paul could do with Poppy, where they do moves together, like a special event. I don't know the details, but it sounded funny and fun. And Paul's totally wants to do that. Um, so um, so I guess it was more of a turnoff for me than Paul, although Paul was fully cognizant of the mind control, and he didn't like all the good jobs and the postcards with like obedience things and rewards and all that crap. Like I know Paul was like down on that, but I think he thought like the actual karate was really fun. So it looked like a lot of fun, so much fun that he wants to do it too. And I could totally see him doing this and being awesome at it and becoming a black belt. So um, I'm a little distracted. Black belt, black belt. Okay, so we leave, and I said to Poppy, I was like, "Did you like doing those karate moves with him?" And she goes, "No." And she said, "I liked talking to him because he was a very nice man. Like, I think she really liked the attention, like that he was giving her really like focused attention. And I mean, he was nice. I could see through the nicest to it, kind of like I think phony, or not that he wasn't nice, but that he wasn't patient. Like I felt the edge in him. I guess she didn't pick up on that. Um, so oh, and she was disappointed because way back, like last week when we first walked in to sign her up, there was a class going on, and she was fascinated by it. And she thought today that she would get to be in a class. I told her it was a private lesson beforehand, but I guess that doesn't mean anything to her. She didn't know what private lesson meant. She thought going to the karate place, I'm going to do the class. So she can go to her first class tomorrow if she wants to. They have them on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So anyway, she was like, I want. She's like, I liked talking to him, and she's like, I'm upset that I didn't get to go to the class with the other kids. So we're gonna do the class. And if she likes it, then we'll do another class, and so on and so forth. And if at any point she doesn't like it, then we're done. And I don't care about the $44. And even if the middle of the class, if she decides like and walks off, because like she can be very independent. I could see her like getting bored or just sick of it or not liking it and just walking away. Because that's how she is. I don't even take her to library like preschool programs anymore because she doesn't. She'll pay attention for a little while until she doesn't care anymore, and then she wants to go read a book by herself or whatever. So if she does that, then I support it because I'll walk out of something I don't want to do. You know, I'm not of the mindset that a lot of parents have of you have to start what you finish. You made a commitment. She didn't make a commitment. I made a commitment. In fact, he asked her at the very beginning, "What made you want to go to karate?" And she said, "My mommy wanted me to go to karate." Um, so I don't. I wanted her. It is something I wanted her to try, but it's totally up to her how far she wants to go with it. Just as it would be totally up to me how far I want to go with it as an adult. She has the same rights. So we'll see how it goes. And I'm a little worried because the class is 4 to 8 year olds, and I'm scared a little bit of her getting lost in the shuffle and it being overwhelming. But she can be a cool customer, so we'll see how it goes. I'm almost out of time. Thank you. Bye bye.